Oh, did you go live yet?
Yes, I'm alive right now, man. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. It's Dr. Earl here. I just got off of work not too long ago here. And I'm here with Mr. Keith Rebarber here. Now, Keith messaged me on Skype earlier today about the situation on why he left the YR program like he did over the weekend there. He first called in on Dave Rose's Drama Emperor program there on which I guess aired before the weekend occurred. And then, of course, we listened on to Dave Rose's Power Trip program on Saturday evening, where it was revealed that YR has rehired Scott McKinnon onto his program there. And the community here are pissed, super pissed about this because, as you know, McKinnon has been known to make threats. He's been going off. He already went off on Bullzie for one time when I guess he was on YR's program there. Now, get this. I got a message from YR not too long ago after that, and I'm going to bring it up here right now. Here, here's what it says here. Come on, dude. It says here. Now it's coming up. The stupid computer is acting up as always here. Now it's going to take a while. Apparently, what it was is that YR said in this message that he got a $300 donation to bring Scott back to the show. And I was like, really? Because in the past, YR was said, no Scott is going to be allowed on this program. No mentioning of Scott on this show here. And then all of a sudden now we find out you have departed. And he brings in Scott, I guess. Was it take your place, if I'm correct?
Yeah. Um, and well, I mean, I guess so, but also YR said Bullfrog is gonna take my place.
Really there.
Yep.
Really there.
But he definitely invited Scott on because I left.
Really. So why are
Yes.
now kind of funny is that Minnesota Vikings fan, when we was on simulcast on each other's channels, he informed me about what that wire doesn't really have anybody left. You had departed, you, and then all of a sudden, he's invited Scott back to the show. He informed me a couple weeks ahead of time that he was speaking with Scott, and I was kind of questioning him on why he would do that, but I never brought it up on the air. Whenever he was on with me and Arknoia Stogamine during our episodes of Arknoia and the Doctor, which, by the way, is taking a break because I'm going to be working all this week, as I mentioned in my previous video. And I was like, I'm going to also, and I was like kind of surprised, that because like I mentioned, that he vowed never to work with Scott ever again because Scott docks his address and everything else there. And during that drama, during that program, Power Trip this past Saturday, Minnesota Vikings man messaged me on Skype as well to add him to this group that YR had added me into. I guess it was called Live YR and all in one word there. And then Vikings informed me that he got booted from the group. Now, the next morning, I get a message from YR saying, why would you put Vikings in my Skype group? And then he also concludes by saying, let them tell you what to do. It's fine. Sorry, brother. I got a $300 donation to bring Scott on to the show. And
Here's what I think.
yeah.
YR is like fuck Dave Rose rules. I'm doing whatever I want.
Hmm. Kind of like,
Which means bring Scott on, bring Bullfrog, bring Danny MT, bring SC.
yeah, that's another thing I was surprised about. But then, wait, I'm not really surprised about because Danny MT, as you know, is a friend. I guess he may not be friends with Tommy NC 2010 no more because he's hanging out with all these people that Danny told Tommy not to associate with. Now, Tommy does not like YR. He doesn't like Scott. He definitely does not like Bullfrog. And here is his buddy, Danny MT, who resides along with YR in Houston, Texas, which I live about 30 miles north of. Here comes. That's kind of surprising as well. I left a voice message on Tommy's Skype that very when I found out he was on. I said, "Hey Tommy, you better know your boy Danny MT is hanging out with Bullfrog, Scott McKinnon, and YR." Now I haven't got a response to that yet, and or anything like that, but most likely sometime this week he'll probably Skype me when he gets the message there. I'm just and be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed in YR. I'm very disappointed.
I'm not surprised at all that he brought Scott back. Um, I remember when YR first teamed up with Devious Dave Rose and Nicky Nines to bring Scott down. I thought he was just doing it to get a pat on the head from those guys, like, "Oh, you're a good boy,
Yeah,
thank you." And then he kept on with it, and I believed YR, but now I know he just did that just to get a pat on the head.
most I'm thinking, wondering. I mean, By the way, I should also inform everybody who still listens to Arknoia the Doctor. I'm thinking about possibly replacing YR with you, possibly.
For Music Maniacs.
No, not for Music Maniacs. That's YR's end. Our show is called Arknoia and the Doctor, Music Memories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we have on our ends right over here, because he has it
Is
on
that the
his
one
end.
you do every Monday night?
What's up?
Is that the one you do every Monday night?
Well, it's mostly Monday nights and Thursdays as well. Now, because of my work schedule this week, I won't be able to, as I mentioned, but definitely next Monday we'll definitely resume our stuff there. I know Ark has sent me a couple of clips up there to listen to. Groups like the Ozark, Mountain Daredevils there, a group called Point Blank with a song called Nicole, which I do remember being played back in Detroit radio years ago. And
Uh,
so what made you so go ahead.
I don't think I'm interested.
In our program there? No?
No,
Oh, that's right.
I don't even like classic rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the classic rock that we all knew up there helped pave the way to the rock and roll that's out there, including Brady Benjamin and the Cedar there.
Oh, okay. But my classic rock is like Guns N' Roses,
Mm,
Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots,
mm.
The Offspring, Red Hot Chili
The
Peppers.
90s stuff from the
Yes.
1990s.
Yeah,
Which
that's
by
my classic rock.
which by the way is I guess you could say with the classic rock stations of today, that's now being considered classic rock. It shows you how old some of these kids are now becoming there when you think about it.
Yes. It's like the 1990 to 1999 is like the third generation of classic rock.
Oh, yeah, it's true there. I'm more into the second generation there when you think about it from the 80s there because I'm a lot older, probably with exception of Argnoia within this community here. He's a lot older than I am. So, what made you decide to leave YR?
Well, I've been saying since December 2020 that
Hmm.
as soon as I get off 100% lockdown, COVID lockdown restrictions, I'm
Uh,
not going to be in this community anymore.
so,
I've said that many times,
mm,
and like like I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I saw a perfect out of the community, and I just poof gone. But
so,
I
so you won't be
uh,
involved with this community no more for a long while. I take it, right?
yeah, but like Devious Dave Rose and Nicky Nines, they're so entertaining
They
that I
are.
can't.
Yeah, especially
I
Nicky
need,
Nines
I need.
especially Nicky Nines with his thing on Danny MT called the CTE files on his Gate Factory channel there. Oh, that
Yeah,
was. He made a lot of sense there. So I guess now Danny MT has put himself in the hot seat, with the way he's been acting as of late, with the threats that he was pulling against, he even did that on YR. If you remember on Arkanoy and the Doctor, that one episode, I brought in Danny MT, to explain why he said what he said in Ken's chat that previous weekend, and YR was not having it. So they started going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth here. Me and Arkanoia had to calm those two down. Said, "Cause easy, guys, cool down, guys." And now all of a sudden they're working together.
right.
That's confusing enough as it is,
Yeah.
let alone being about Scott.
Nicky Nunn said his focus is no longer Mark Scunty. Now his focus is YR for
Oh
hemming
yeah,
up.
oh yeah, I know. Because I know they probably. Now you were listening to the No Hard Feelings program on Ken's Patreon, if I'm
Yes,
correct,
I
right?
even
Yeah.
called up. I called
Yes.
up tonight.
I should probably get a hold of them and tell them to add, if you could probably add those cats in here by
Okay, I'll do it
chance.
now.
Definitely. Because, I know they were talking about YR and what went down this whole weekend there. As you know,
Right.
YR was doing his show. That's when the Dave Rose decided to go live. I was at work at the whole time there, so I found out until I got home there what's the situation there. It's like, oh wow, Dave was doing the power trip on the late at evening, because usually he does this on you in the afternoon while I'm at work there. I sometimes often listen to the program when I'm on at lunchtime, because Dave Rose has been known to go many hours with these programs of his. And shout out to Rob. What? Whoa, dude.
What?
Yeah, that was kind of loud, dude.
Oh
Yeah, kind of loud, dude. There. All right.
no, it was you cut out a little bit, but
Oh, okay.
you're
So my sound, I couldn't understand it because right now, oh boy. So are you able to get the guys over there? Ken, Nick, and Mars.
no. Actually, Mars wasn't on NHF tonight.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh, so it was just Nick and Ken there.
yeah, Nikki didn't pick up. Uh, Ken, it's still ringing for Ken.
Oh, okay. All right. So, because hey Bullzie, I see you're in my chat. Would you like me to add you to the program, dude? All right. So so I'm waiting on to hear what's going on. If we can get probably because I know one of the people that Scott went off was Bullzie, as I found out, and this was on YR's end. And of course,
Yeah,
Bullzie has been. What's up?
It said unavailable for
Oh,
Ken.
okay, so they're probably done for the night, I guess. So we're the only ones streaming live right now, other than Joe Cronin, of course, doing his Raw review. And I'm not sorry, not into Raw, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, let me see if I can. Bullzie says he wants to be added, so I'm going to do that right now. Let me get ready here. All right. One thing I realized that when on my next day off, I'm going to be like, set my computer up, ready to roll here, and let's
Yeah.
see. And I leave it on for a whole day, so that way I should have no issue. We're gonna getting the Skype ready and all the things ready here, blah blah blah, because it takes a long while for this computer to. There it is. I'm gonna add Bullzie to right here. I still got to fix this damn computer here because. Sorry. So anything else going on in your life? So you finally got out of this lockdown at the
Right.
place
I
you're in.
think what?
No, you.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize it went on for that long there, that much.
Yeah, it was like till like May or June of
Ah,
2021.
wow.
And then,
Good-
like, when I got off full lockdown, I still was with YR for 2 weeks
Wow.
after I got off.
So
And then
basic.
I
So
saw this perfect out, and I was out.
so this means you're able to go out and do things, hang with family and friends, and other people and stuff there. Go to shows, go to festivals and everything.
Yes, exactly. Everything.
Good. Good.
All the restrictions in Florida are lifted.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yep.
Everything's. I mean, fine. I think we're slowly getting our lives back. Thank goodness there,
Yes.
because thanks to all these vaccines that are finally coming out, we're able to finally not wear a mask while we're at work. Well, except for the ones who haven't got vaccinated yet. Here in the Texas, you still have to wear one if you didn't have any. I got mine,
Uh,
so I'd have to wear mine no more. Thank goodness. So now, right
yep.
now,
It,
so right now, the
I,
people who are making these masks, the companies, they're probably like, "Oh God, we're gonna lose business," because they were making lots of money. I know with all these custom masks that they were making, they were being sold at all the HEBs, the WalMarts, all the other supermarket places and shopping malls here and there. They were coming up with some custom designs here. Gucci, Michael Kors, you name it.
right. I think
Star,
in Florida, like 15% of people are wearing masks.
yep. But then again, you got to remember, we're sick and tired of wearing them all the damn time, especially when you wear glasses, which I do at work. And I spend most of my time in the cooler area, and doing the dairy, milk and eggs and all that shit there. And Bullzie is with us, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, dude?
What's
Yeah.
up, Bullzie?
Hey, and nice talking to you, Dr. Earl.
Hey,
And
what's up? I'm glad to hear, man. Glad you're here. We're talking about why Keith departed from the YR program there. I guess it's kind
no,
of
it's
good.
Rebarber around. Like,
But
it's one of those individuals that, positive. Can't really say much.
Right.
Positive dude.
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
What's happening, Keith?
Uh, I'm living my best life. I'm going out doing a whole bunch of stuff, having fun, going everywhere.
Yeah. What's the problems you've seen with YR once you left?
That he went back to the lowest of the low, like Scott,
Scott
Bullfrog,
McKinnon.
SC.
Yeah,
Well, this was recent,
Bulky, Bullfrog, and of course,
right?
again, Danny MT. Tommy's. I guess now Tommy doesn't want anything to do with Danny MT now.
Yeah. So Keith Rebarber, you noticed YR doing this before he can actually pull, little stunt?
No, no, I didn't. He went back to all these clown people because I left, and he felt hopeless about like no, I don't have anyone to do a show with me.
Uh,
Uh, that's why he went back to the the Misfits.
The
this
troublemakers, especially troublemaker number one.
Yes.
Gannon, you know what?
So I think he's been wanting for a long time to say fuck Dave Rose rules. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
You know what? Wire could completely do it all on his own, but he has to reach out to people to do it with him.
Yeah.
It's talent.
Right.
That just doesn't make sense. Like, okay, he needs to reach down to the cookie jar and find crumbs for hopefully someone will do a show with him. Unfortunately, Tony isn't that one. That's bluntly obvious. Scott definitely isn't one of them. Everyone wants to stay away from the Black Plague as much as possible.
Right.
Which no one wants to deal with. I don't want to have any interaction with SEMO. Not even the first of the slightest. And you got Bullfrog. You know what?
Oh
Bullfrog,
gosh.
Bullfrog after on my little stuff with Scott. He was kind of backing Scott. Fuck you, Bullzie. I'll kick your ass.
Oh
That
gosh.
guy,
Yeah, he claims that all the time, but he never does it.
yeah, the guy had the nerve to call me on his show while trying to apologize to Steph and say, "But stop being mean to me, Jeff. I'm apologizing." I'm like, oh my god. You know
Bullfrog
what,
tried.
Bullfrog?
Yeah, hell, you remember
Basically,
Bullfrog was trying to call in on Dave's program while he was streaming live. Believe it or not.
but you know what? You know what?
Hmm.
When Bullfrog called me, I just told him how it is. Okay, you want to be left alone? You don't want people to talk about you? You don't want to be, mistreated? How about you stop mistreating people?
That's true.
How
True.
about
Absolutely.
you just stop looking for people to defend you and then mistreat them afterwards?
Yeah,
Move on.
yeah,
Stop
but
talking about it. And you know
because
what? If you stop talking about it and just do your own thing, people may just have an inkling of respect for you. But next day, it was barely a day. He was like, I can't do it. It's barely been a day. And he's on our show again talking shit. And like, you know what? I'm blocking them all. Like, Wire, you know what? I like Wire, but he's not going to change. People giving him chances. I know his history. Why am I going to associate with myself, especially with Scott? People that want to be around a virus. No, I'm sorry.
And like all these people I already had blocked because Wire told me to block them. So I didn't even, when I left Wire, I didn't even need to block these people.
Yeah. You know what? Hate to say it, but Dave Rose was right about SC Steve, too.
I never
You
liked him.
can't.
I never liked SC Steve. I mean, he almost got me in a car wreck one time because I was in my sister's car. He calls up, started trying to bust my balls here and there, and I became almost seemed this close. And this was my sister's car, and I don't want. Gosh, I don't need that pressure on me. To pay back this amount of money, that amount of money here, for something there. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I
You know
stopped
what?
liking SC. I stopped liking SC when he told me to ask Devious Dave Rose, why are you cockeyed? And then Devious Dave
Oh God.
Rose like made me feel just I forgot what he said, but he said something made me feel embarrassed for saying that. And then I'm like, all right, I'm never doing anything SC tells me to do
Never
ever
do.
again.
No, no. Don't ever do anything what tell you to do unless it's advice.
Yes.
You
Good
know,
advice.
Dave Rose, at first thought, never liked him, but he seems to be a good guy,
He
genuinely.
is. He is a
Matter-
good guy. And
Whatever.
also, let's not forget all the times SC used to call me Dr. Dave Rose. He used to call me to compare me to Dave Rose all the time.
Yeah.
Because because many times Joe Cronin compared me to Dave Rose. In fact, how I met Joe Cronin was when I was on this other program there, which Ken was co-hosting there. Joe calls in and say, "Let me talk
Yeah.
to Dave." Dave, huh? I know he's using the name Earl, but I know that's you, Dave.
Wow.
So because a lot of times, he people said I look like Dave Rose here and there because of the glasses and the hair. Well, of course, Rose, as you know, is bald. He shaved his head as out of a donation there, and of course, my hair is a lot more shorter. But we often still get compared as brothers a lot of time.
Right. On to SC. I have to get this a little bit off my chest,
Hmm.
You know what? See, I hit him up and say, "What's up?" We talk. I give him a chance to explain himself. He was says, "I'm not malicious. I'm not malicious. I understand. Okay, I understand his indifference between Dave Rose. I understand he was trying to joke around with Ken, but Ken took it to heart. So I think he should move on from Ken because Ken doesn't want to bother with SC, right?
No,
But
I don't want to bother. Nobody here wants to bother with SC.
I like what
so this point in time, this guy on Wire show kept pushing. Am I malicious? Am I malicious? Am I being malicious? I don't know. Why do you care so much? Like, he's kept pressing it. We got in a verbal fight.
Mhm.
And he starts saying, and he throws the first jab saying, "Hey, Bullzie, does your mother know you're gay?" Oh my
Oh
god.
my
So
gosh. He was trying to
it's with
trigger you, man.
my
He was trying to get you all
mind,
riled up. That's what he was trying to do.
pretty much. I responded with my sharp mind, "I don't know. SC, do you know that I'm sleeping with your mother?"
Yeah.
So he almost got me riled up. I was a little bit riled up, but he was
That's
more
how he
riled.
that's his main thing. He likes to get people riled up. He likes to somewhat insult them to get you to respond in a hateful, angry manner, and that's what he does.
Uh, I'm just gonna call him such a cunt, Steve. So,
I
like,
like what Nicky
that's what,
Nine said about SC. He's an annoying cunt.
yeah.
That's true there. He also is no longer allowed on my channel. Now, if you remember the first few episodes of Metal Maniacs, which me and YR did together, SC would pop up all of a sudden mysteriously, and then just he would say, "Fuck Joe Cronin, and fuck Ken for working with Joe Cronin here and there," and YR of course be like, "Oh, SC, why you here studying drama here? Why you here studying shit?" Turns out YR was bringing SC to the call,
Yeah.
and
I never really saw a real problem with SC the first time I saw him, but Ken did warn. First person to warn me about him was Ken.
yep,
First, Ken's a good guy. Like
he is
if someone
absolutely.
like anybody about someone being bad, I'm taking that guy's advice.
Yeah. I kind of like knew it was knew he was trouble when he called in on Ken's program one time asking for Tommy to be placed back to the show because Tommy was banned from the for the rest of 2018 through a donation there, and SC was like, "Yo, he wants Tommy back," and sorry, that's how it is. Like Tommy can be annoying at times, blah 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 here there, and SC was like, get this guy off the call, take him off the call. Why? Well, why? But that's who? This Dave Rose wannabe here.
Scott.
Mm. Well, he was
Oh,
Scott. Oh, Scott's another one. I cannot. Scott was one of the reasons why I left that Metal Maniacs show there. Wire brings in Scott after what he said in regards to Ken's wife and kids, and we know what he said there. If nobody knows, you have to look up Mars Mira's State of the Union program there from last year, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Was brought into the show. Scott wanted to, he was all remorseful. He was on the verge of tears. What he said there, I mean, that should have been the perfect time for Scott to get help, but sadly he didn't do it. Scott's mental illness, has to get involved each and every time there, and sadly, it's getting from bad to worse.
yeah. You know what? People like Scott's never gonna learn. Like Bullfrog, never gonna learn.
No, he
Emo,
does. He wasn't.
never gonna learn. He's 24 years old. He's around Keith and I age, I believe, right?
Yes.
I'm 35.
Well, you're more mature than SC, bro.
I know.
So you
Yeah.
should take
Thank
any
you.
advice from a 24-year-old like that. But SC may change in the future. That I foresee.
And
But
we
who
all thought
knows?
YR had changed. I mean, for a
Yep.
while, YR was like doing pretty good there. Being on programs here and there and all that stuff there.
I think YR stayed away from Scunty because of me. Cause
You know
like
what?
I,
You may be right, Keith.
Yeah, but
as long as he had me, he would stay away from Scunty. Cause like I would pressure him to stay for him to stay away from Scunty.
well,
Yeah,
that's kind of funny because you were a lot better co-host than Skunty when you think about it.
Yes.
anybody. You know what? I'll even say this. Bullfrog is a better co-host than Skunty.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is one positive thing about Bullfrog replacing me. There will be a lot less dead air.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah, no one Bullfrog likes to talk over people at times there.
Yeah, he'd be like, um, uh, have you seen AEW?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. And
yeah, you can,
again,
oh,
do your fucking job.
it's not mean that.
Or be like, I don't care. You can call my family. I don't give a fuck.
Give a fuck if you call my family. Stop harassing me.
Uh,
Little faggy fuck.
Oh gosh, he's no longer allowed on my channel. Since you ever saw
Yeah,
the
yeah.
full episode of Dark Side of the Pantry?
Gave him one more chance. An hour later, he fucks up.
Of course, no surprise there. No
You kidding me?
surprise at all.
He's just like, I can't bear it. I can't. You just have to fucking move on. Is that so hard? I get wanting to be part of it, a community, but come on,
he's
learn, move on.
Yeah.
Just do your own thing. It ain't that hard. If he's 41 years old,
Oh yeah,
for
oh, yeah.
God's sake.
Now, for what I
There-
understand, he has a core, like, I don't know if it's extreme form of autism where his mind is kept at a pace of a 5-year-old child. I think that's what it is. And I guess one of the things about autism is the ability to move on from things there, because they got this idea that they must get even. It's gonna eat them up deep inside until something happens there. But by doing that, just making themselves look like idiots when you think about it.
Yeah. No kidding. Very no kidding. I've been talking to Bullfrog for an entire year, and you know what? He is very, very capable of a normal conversation. Problem is, he does not act like a normal human being.
He doesn't.
When
No.
it re- So apparently there's sexual harassment going on in DMs between
Yes. Yeah.
several people.
There was.
If
Yeah. I
those
remember Dave Rose called him out on it. He was going to do a tribunal on him. In fact, I still have recorded the press conference which Bullfrog called in, saying, you don't care, I don't have that but family, you don't care about this and that. It was a whole. In fact, during that broadcast, Bullfrog threatened to send Dave Rose a bomb. Now, if I'm correct, isn't that considered illegal?
yeah.
You know what? Bullfrog doesn't understand shit.
He
So
doesn't.
anything he says, no, what the f saying. He, this is him in an emotional state. If he's being called out, he cannot handle it. He is incapable of handling confrontation. He's incapable of maintaining his anger. Sometimes he's pretty good at it. Sometimes he's better than Tommy at it. Most of the time, actually. But usually, he's not good at containing himself. So
Many people with autism have that issue. They're they have a hard time trying to sustain their anger, but it's kind of hard for them to do it because that's the only thing they understand.
pretty much, yeah. But either way, he's, I'm diagnosed with autism too. So I am hypersensitive myself, but I know how to contain myself.
So am I.
Sometimes I have reactions. Well, actually, most of the time I have strong reactions. I just apply it in a positive way. So, anyway, autism is not, I don't see autism as being a crux of the situation. It's
Yeah.
just that they don't know how to handle situations like that because they're not really
That's
built
how
to
their mind
handle.
works, either way.
And since Bullfrog's 41 years old, there's no way that mind is developing in a positive way.
No, I pretty much doubt it. I think it's stuck as it is, because no matter how many times we try to give him advice, try to encourage him to get out there, get some exercise, eat a lot more healthier, he will not do it. That's the mentality of a 5-year-old.
I,
Definitely, Doctor. Totally right. Like,
Yeah.
Keith, you remember this. You remember the time I was on call with Bullfrog. You were there. That
Yes.
I pitched the idea to him. Salad is the best thing you could ever eat.
Oh yeah.
Nothing having a soda. Not at all. Like, there's no reason for that. So I told him to balance his diet. He, of course, won't. So I try to make him more comfortable with going for a healthier diet. That's not going to work either, right? Because fat shaming him would probably be the best way. But even that, he'll be like, "Stop harassing me."
Or he's going to come out and say, "Now I'm not fat, I'm sexy," like he has done a few times there.
Well, the only thing sexy about him is not looking at himself.
Oh gosh.
I I wish Dave Rose would call his brother, and I wish
I would
Dave
love
Rose.
to. I would love to hear that as well. I mean, I was able to, I know he was able to get a hold of Scott's sister there,
Yeah,
and it was,
and I wish
Yeah.
Dave Rose could talk to Bullfrog's elementary school teachers.
You know what? Bullfrog's elementary school teachers were probably shit.
oh shit.
Like, you can't handle a child like that. Maybe you should not have been a teacher. Like, you deal with kids. Faggot.
Yep.
That's what they did to me back in the day. Like, didn't want to deal with me, so they put me in another class because I was a big, fat, stinking, retard and dangerous because they didn't know how to deal with me. So I can't blame them because it's probably worse than a bull. But, yeah. So I came a long way.
Yeah.
Teachers are supposed to deal with them because they signed up for it.
Yes.
But they
should
choose
be-
not to. Well, it's why they aren't paid that much. They complain about being.
Yeah, we hear it about. Gosh, I cannot tell you how many times back in Michigan we would hear before school season starts, all the teachers would be threatening to strike here, threatening to strike there, unless they get any negotiations such, more pay raise, more paid here, and. But then again, I was involved. I was romantically involved with a lady there who was kind of like I guess it was a teacher's assistant, and she did say they didn't really pay that much in the Detroit area when you think about it. So, which explains why they would threaten to go on strike each year like they did.
Yeah. They go on strike, complain about pay, then go back to their jobs. Like, they're going to protest, follow through to the protest. But they complain about pay, but they don't do their jobs. No, not all the teachers do their jobs so I won't all teachers, because some teachers actually give a fuck about their job. Some teachers just kind of like, nah, ain't gonna get paid enough.
And I guess,
up.
I guess we're talking about the teachers of today. I guess mostly.
I'm not sure about back then, but I'm pretty sure that's prevalent as it was back then.
Because I know
Not
the
like,
teacher. Because I know the teachers that I grew up in my junior high and high school, and they really cared about what the student was able of learning such and such there, and so they were really able to put their effort into making sure we knew what to do, what not to do, and everything else when it came to math, American history and such. But I think what it is that most of the teachers today are these millennials who often try to. And if I'm wrong on this, feel free to correct me, guys. Some of the millennials out there today are the same kids who try to pressure liberal values onto the students there. Am I correct on this? And the
You
reason
are.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go to think of colleges right now.
Mhm.
Reason why I never
Oh, yeah.
went to college and by the way, I get calls from different colleges. Never accept one because I don't think I could commit to it, nor do I want to have ideals forced upon me. But either way, I think a lot of that comes from colleges and professors pushing ideas
Oh
onto
yeah,
kids.
absolutely. Because remember, a lot of the professors and teachers at these colleges are the same ones who were involved with the anti-war movement in the 1960s when Nixon was in office. So they often preach this narrative that all Republicans don't want to listen to you, they don't accept you as you are. And I'm like, I remember this during my junior high a couple years, back around 1980. This was before Ronald Reagan was elected president. Our teacher at that time, he basically preached a couple times how Reagan was a warmonger. Had said, don't vote for Reagan because this, that's going to happen, soon, because to the people out there, Republican presidents all been known to start wars, let's finish the job, it's a go, we're taking them down type of mode there, regardless if there was going to be lives on the line there. And I guess, somehow, somewhere, the professors of these colleges, since they were mostly involved with these anti-war movements and the protests and everything over what happened in Vietnam, they probably still got it in their heads to this day that all Republicans are evil, warmongers, money grubbers because they don't spend the money on to help the people, the families out there in the projects and this and that there. But however, you also got to keep in mind, money don't grow on trees. John Engler, of one of our former governors in Michigan, he had to do lots and lots of budget cuts, being around the 1980s because he basically Michigan was running out of money for these programs, even though there was tons of people who were dependent on these programs, like say if a woman's on welfare because she has a newborn child and she's a single mom, she's going to be dependent on the welfare system. And if that's cut off, what's she going to do? She can't leave the kid in the room by herself in the house there. That's kind of considered child endangerment. And
Yeah,
while she
definitely.
goes out and tries to while she goes out and applies for a job and gets hired and goes to work, she would have to hire a babysitter.
Definitely, yeah. I think you're kind of I think you're referring to socialism a little bit. That really does sound like socialism.
Yeah.
So this has been going on with colleges for years, hasn't it? Like
Yes, it has.
pushing some ideals on,
Yes, they do.
which I don't understand socialism so much, which doesn't make sense to me. But more power to you. But the problem is you got socialistic states that are blue, like California,
Yep.
New York, Washington, I believe.
And politicians advocated for that, like the Alexander Cortez and of course Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
They're the ones
well,
doing all this stuff there.
Hey, hold on, Omar.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
Or
that
whatever.
Go on, Keith.
that towel head bitch there.
I think Arizona's going to be blue state, but either way, we still have red operations in play. But either way, what I'm saying is people that are pushing for socialism, I don't understand that. But I'm not saying socialism can't help a person out, because we do have socialistic programs. No, I'm going to resort to. I don't like Trump, but he was a good president.
He was, yes, indeed he was. Parts of me wish he was still president. Because the economy was booming like hell, and I'm afraid to find out how the economy is doing right now. When you think of, to be honest with you, because I keep thinking to what happened during
Not
the
doing
Obama
too bad.
administration. Go ahead.
But either way, I'm just going to say Trump was better than the last 3 presidents. I'm not going to mention
Yeah.
Joe Biden. That's a different ball game. Obviously, you know the answer to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Completely. He was better than Obama, definitely. He's better than George Bush, George W. Bush. And he's better than Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say Trump is the greatest president the United States has ever seen.
Yeah. Try not to say that in California. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Because remember that state threatened to cut himself off from the states there because during the Trump administration, if you remember.
Yeah, and then every election, they're always the first state to turn blue. It turned blue like in 5 minutes.
Exactly. It's a blue state. One of the reasons I left Michigan because that became an extremely blue state, and I guess Massachusetts is a blue state just as well. I know Cronin mentioned that a few times.
Yes.
You know what? And people say, well, Biden got so many votes. Guess what? The guy has basically no support, Joe Biden, that guy. The media portrays him as this great guy. He did this. Well, Trump really did the thing, like secure the borders,
Because a
human
lot of
traffic.
because the media is basically the same people who learn from all these stupid colleges from these socialist professors there.
And
Right. I remember when Trump
the
won.
thing is, corporations, regardless of what you think, a lot of corporations do agree with socialism because guess what? And they actually don't mind illegals coming across the border while there's more sex trafficking now because of Joe Biden, but they try to blame that on Trump. You think
Yeah,
people are
well,
that stupid?
no.
No, no. If you are that stupid to believe that it's actually Trump's fault, take a shovel and beat yourself up with it. No, there's no reason, none at all, to say Joe Biden is better than Trump. That's just plain wrong. No matter
Right.
what you people say. Either way,
Yep.
corporations do actually agree with socialism because
I
guess what?
remember.
Jobs off if they are taxed more because if they make less money, they won't be taxed as much, so they'll avoid taxes, and then they can just cut off more jobs, take advantage of the desperate people like the Hispanic or Mexicans. I don't know. I guess they can be called Hispanics to work for a small amount of money. Just sit there in their office and not give a fuck. That's the sad reality. That's what socialism is. That's what socialism
I know.
is.
Yeah.
It's rich. And guess what? The small time businesses lose out too. So there's no middle
Oh yeah.
class.
I know. And that's the sad thing because there are a lot of these small businesses they're trying to make it big there, and here they are being pushed down to the ground there by this big, huge thumb of the socialism that's going to destroy them.
Right.
Yeah. And socialism will destroy the United States because socialism is not built on socialism. It's built on. And, there's too many people depending on the government in the country that is built on independence. That's one thing. You know why I'm disagreeing with Democrats because
Yep.
stronger social government equals dependent people. Exactly. And you got bums in those socialistic programs not wanting to work because, Democrats will just keep it. You want to eat ice cream all day, bums and
Shout out to
just
Falmouth Ken in my chat here. Hey, let me know in the chat if you want me to add you to the call, dude. Definitely.
I remember when Trump first won, all the students and all the colleges needed like a safe space and a day.
That always tripped
what
me
else
out. That
are you
term
trying to say?
space, safe space there. What the hell, man?
You know what? This is actually what I kind of got sidetracked, but I want to talk about this. Under Trump, there were some socialistic programs. Trump actually found a way to make it work. What he did was put people that were living in the ghettos, like black people, and try to have them be there to help the young people get on the right track. So the only way that's ever worked was because of Trump. That's just, I think I read about it, but you know
You're
what?
right.
Those black ghettos and bad neighborhoods were doing better under Trump too.
I remember one time.
Exactly.
I remember one time years back around the '90s when Clinton was still in office. I was going to a gas station in D-town, Detroit, after coming back from a club, and there were two black people sitting there talking here about what's going on with the system here and there. I remember a couple of them saying, communism don't seem like a bad idea at this point there because of this going here, blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't think so, bro. I just don't think so.
Yeah,
I
and by the way, Dr. Earl, there's
yeah.
already a troll saying the name
I
of
see
Fat
it.
Boy King.
Yes, and he is going to be removed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, well, if you ever need a mod, you have one of us in
All
the chat.
right,
So
good,
Bam's
good.
always
Yep. Um. Oh man,
and
I was
program.
gonna say something, I forgot. Oh, keep going.
And I guess Smallmouth Cat says it's probably Chris Moore. Ken, call us. I'm going to see if I can add Ken to the call here. See if he's available here. You guys go ahead and talk. Let me find Ken here on the thing here. It's going to take its time, as always. Blah, blah, blah here.
All right. So Keith, why our program? Yeah. So why'd you leave in the first place? So
Well, I've been saying since December 2020 that as soon as I get off COVID lockdown, I'm gonna leave the community. So I got off like all restrictions like in uh May or I mean no June or July. Wait, yeah, June, sometime in June, and then like I just hung out with Wire for like 2 more weeks, and then I saw this perfect out of Wire show. Like it was a perfect out. I saw it, so like poof, I was gone. But then like I was gone from Wire, but like I can't leave Devious Dave Rose and Nikki Nines because they're so entertaining. I just need to hear Devious Dave Rose and Nikki Nines. Like they're the two most entertaining people in the community.
yeah,
And
yeah, I don't blame you. It's nice seeing Dave Rose go over and just like prove the stupidity of others, and seeing Nikki Nines just hammer on people. I don't blame
yeah,
you there.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you know people do like around, right?
Yep,
yes.
we do there,
Uh,
yes.
Yeah, you don't.
See, and then so like right after I left, uh, well, right after I left, YR didn't like stream for like 4 days,
Wow.
and then the first day he streamed again, like the fifth day. I think he brought SC Steve on and
Scott.
Danny T. No, he called Scott, but Scott showed the next day that he was working and his phone was turned off in his locker.
I see there.
He put out a video. YR called me, and then he's like put out another video like, "Yo, I was working. My my phone was in my locker, turned off." Um, and then I think the next time he brought Scott on.
All right. You know what? I don't know why Scott. I think I already know the answer at this point. Wire just wants people around him. This is just. There's no
Right.
really big thing. The question here. Like,
Right. In the past like year and a half, Bullfrog has said 1,000 times, "YR, leave me alone. I don't want to be on your stupid show
Oh,
anymore."
really?
Yeah.
Knowing how hungry for attention Bullfrog is. When
yeah.
Yep.
Bullfrog would love to be on that show either way. So
Right.
he's on there all the time. Doesn't matter. Like the guy can't follow through on his word. He's a fucking flip flopper.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I know that is true there.
He-
I still remember last summer when he was supposed to. I guess he made this apology to JB and the Shell there. I guess or something he said about him, and apparently the next day he fell back on his word and he called him. Joe contacted him, went live, and he called him out for it there. I guess they had this long discussion there, and I guess what Bullfrog wanted to do was be a co-host on Joe's Raw and SmackDown, the wrestling reviews there. Well, why should I have you as a co-host on my reviews? And Bullfrog's like, "Cause you need me." No, we don't need you, Bullfrog. That's it. You don't really have that good acknowledgement of wrestling. You only always been watching wrestling since '96. I've been watching wrestling since 1984, man. I could have been a better co-host with that show there.
Well, yeah. Bullfrog at one point in times has entertained us all. Okay, let's give him that. Problem is, he revealed himself to be a petty, fat tub of lard loser.
Oh, yeah, we know that. I knew that when I first heard about him on Monetize This 255 there.
Wow.
And you know, if you saw it first beforehand, pat yourself on the back. Like,
Yep.
honestly,
Bullfrog,
we're trying to see that coming.
Bullfrog came into this community going live over everybody.
Yep. And Bullfrog, has this idea that he is above everybody else, like he did with Bobby and Kevin that last year there. I'm still pissed off. I'm like, geez, we had a great conversation. Me, those two, Bullqueef, and Dave Rose, who joined in on the call there. Everything was good. Ken, wanted to wanted to confront Bullfrog of some things he said on his program, a night before there. And it just turned into this whole debacle there. And I think I mentioned this to you, Bullzie. Bullfrog, a couple nights later, went live on his channel and said that I had set him up by bringing Ken onto the program, which was not true.
Okay, that is comedy. Comedy. That guy.
I know. It's like, and he also wanted me to take down that episode because of how it made him look.
You know what? You know what? I watched that episode. You, Ken, and Devious Dave Rose,
Bobby and
and
Kevin as well. We all had a lot. We had a lot of things, but Bullfrog was so full of denial, so full of arrogance. And after that, I decided, not to do anything with him ever again. And you can remember, it was mostly Bullfrog contacted me, come on my channel, let me come on your channel, let's do some shows together here and there. He's trying to get his foot in the door, but he's doing it in a very arrogant, self-centered way. And that's just not how it works.
yeah,
Right.
it's like Tony. I'm the star, bro. You're the only star you are on is when you are the biggest retard. Show.
Yeah, what is now with Tony? Is he going to be now that he's got SC Scott in there? Is he going to? Of course, he's back with Corona. We all know that. And I guess when that happened, when he went back, a lot of people called him out, including Nikki J.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's be real here. Tony is harmless. He just succeeded on being the most hated individual because he can't even follow through on his word. He was like, I'm going to drop facts on Cronin. But you know when he called into Cronin? He dropped down to his knees, opened his mouth wide open, jaw dropped, cheeks open, and Cronin, and he was like, put it in my mouth, Mom, please.
Oh, shit. Dude.
And Tony enjoyed every second.
I was the second person in the community to block Bullfrog on Skype.
Yeah.
I have yet to even accept his requests on Skype there because, he tried to make contact with me a couple times, because I removed him from my contact list after that episode there.
Yeah. Nikki Nines was the first person to block him on Skype, and I was the second person.
Well, it's a smart move because if you don't want to deal with a retard, don't.
Again, nobody can deal with him at this point there. Nobody. Only YR can do it, and I'm surprised YR would do that.
I could probably still deal with him because, you know what? He ended up normal anytime I started talking with him abruptly and started dropping knowledge on him. So, yeah. I don't mean to brag, but I'm probably the only one who can have success with Bullfrog at this point. But either way, I'm done with the guy. He's just gonna fall back on his word every time. Every time. You give this guy a chance, he just fucks up. He's 41 years old and he doesn't even act like a mature adult.
How old does he act?
He acts like a 5-year-old.
Yes.
He does. He acts like a 5 or 6-year-old, who feels like he's entitled to this, entitled to that. From what I understand from Ken and Dave, he always had people waiting on him, helping him out, do this and that, probably cooking his meals here, being pampered and this and that there. And that's not the way to grow up because, as we've seen, people who grow up in those kind of conditions excuse me, they expected when they're in their adulthood. And when it doesn't happen like that, they're gonna be monsters. They're gonna be crazy. They're gonna be like they're gonna go ape shit.
Yeah,
Right.
except Bullfrog can't hurt anyone.
No,
But
he's not gonna do it. He can't even. He keeps saying, "I'm gonna press charges. I'm gonna come down, beat your face in." You ain't gonna. You can't even beat off, man. You can't even get your arms up. You can't even get your arms below your blubber there to even jerk off. Man, come on.
hey, this is Bullfrog's workout. Him spending 5 hours trying to get off his couch.
Which is probably shit saying all the hell.
Yep.
Wait, you didn't see that episode where he danced in his apartment?
No, I don't think I want to either.
Made a skit of Bullfrog doing that dance. But you know what? Watching that, I'm like, well, at least Bullfrog knew how to, be funny at that moment.
For a while there.
Yeah. And my first thought was, okay. So was this like sped up? Because I bet this was super duper slow for Bullfrog. Like he got gassed out a few times, kind of puked a few times. He fell to the floor like, I can't do it for 5 seconds. So it took Cronin for a while to make clips because it was like 7 hours of Bullfrog trying to do the dance. That
Shit.
Man, it's fun making fun of Bullfrog.
It is. It's oh, we all do. We all agree on that one there because in a lot of ways he deserves it.
Definitely.
I mean, he brought this on himself.
Bullfrog.
He brought this upon himself, and that's that.
Yeah, that's that.
I just thought of something that Wire, I think he does. He brings all these people on that no one likes just so he could get big donations to kick them up.
That's what Joe Cronin used to do with Tommy a lot of times. Cronin would say on the air like 200 to boot Tommy off for the program there. 500 to boot him up the show for about 4 months.
Oh yeah, yep, you're right.
Right.
And I think that's probably one of the big reasons why Tommy left because all he was a cash cow for Cronin.
Yep.
That proves Joe Cronin to be an e-bagger. You know what happened? No, there was a banned Bullfrog night. I dropped
Really?
$80 for the final blow.
Hmm.
I knew Joe Cronin's going to have Bullfrog on either way. He's been unmonetized even though he was banned before.
Yeah.
He was unmonetized this even though he was banned before. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So that's Joe Cronin's go-to. If you donate to me, I'll get him off the show. My ADHD. I'm gonna kill myself.
And that's another thing I'm getting tired of. Cronin saying that all the time there.
You know what? I'm kicked from Discord, but that's another story to tell.
Oh wow.
That's another story to tell.
I
I'll
think
tell you.
Definitely got to tell that next time, man.
Yeah, next time. Anyway,
I think
topic.
it's funny when Joe Cronin says I'm gonna kill myself on a Monday Night Raw review because he's trying to tell you how boring Monday Night Raw is.
Yeah, I understand there. But instead of saying well, kill myself, I was just I would say just shoot the TV. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's one of the story I'll talk about to you another time, Dr. Earl.
Okay,
You'll love it.
Oh, definitely. I'll be ready there when you do, man. Definitely.
Anyway, yeah, I completely get it. Watching Monday Night Raw, I understand that. I get it.
I didn't even watch. I was busy doing other things other than watching that. That's for sure. I'm sure. I know the fans are back. They're playing. They're doing the venues again with lots of people there. That's fine and dandy here, but the quality, the content of the show is what really matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, suicide joke. Let me just put this in example because This is a joke to Raw, saying Raw was so bad it makes me want to drink a bottle of bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I know a couple of other people have said that there. I think Jim Cornette mentioned about that on one of his podcasts there. That's
Yeah,
why I don't watch Raw no more because, when I first started watching Raw again, when I first started moving here in Texas, because the places I lived at didn't have any TVs, let alone cable, I was like, who are these guys? Who are these people? And like, why did Triple H cut his hair? And why is Kane wearing a corporate suit there? And also, why is the audience so lame? When Kane came out one time, back in the day, he would all the people would rise, people would be like shocked and excited. When Kane came out as a surprise, opponent for this one wrestler, nobody really budged. They all just sat in their seats, blah blah blah. There, it's like, are you kidding me? Everything
yeah.
about that WWE is becoming lame as hell.
Yep.
You know how to save WWE? Well, Roman's one of them. Okay,
Yep,
let's just start with the basics of what we know about booking, right?
yep,
Let's pick a tournament. Let's just do that. King of
yeah,
the Ring, and then build that star up for a main title program. Whatever star you want, really. Any star that Vince McMahon has is very talented and one of the best in the world. Go for King of the Ring, and then build off what star you believe will, get over. Don't do too much or too little. Just do enough. Put them out there. Let them, work a few times. If fans like them, they love them. If fans don't like him, well, I guess you need to find another guy.
yep.
Maybe he's just so it's just basic stuff. Now, doing long term, I understand that can be hard because when you think long term, it's like, okay, we've done everything we could do there. So what do we do now? I get that. Just go back to the basics. Always, just there's no pressure. So it's always about having fun.
I I only watched Raw from 2012 to 2016.
Yeah, no, I got done watching wrestling once the fans left. I almost got done watching wrestling in 2016 until I watched NXT Takeover Philadelphia. That was amazing.
Wow.
Like, you don't get Johnny Gargano versus Cien Almas.
Mm.
Amazing match. Like, you don't see. No, NXT 2018 was probably the best wrestling year of the 2010 to 2020. You never seen wrestling or wrestlers like that ever. Tommaso Ciampa, I believe, was the highlight of wrestling in 2018. Don't give a fuck what you say. Don't care about Kenny Omega. I like Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega. Love Kazuchika Okada. I think he's very underrated in the U.S. That guy's great too. But Tommaso Ciampa, I believe, was the MVP of wrestling in that year. Greatest heel, got great reaction, wrestled great. Not only that, had the best matches to remember in NXT history. You don't see that. And now he's relegated back to a tag team, which Timothy Thatcher, which I don't mind.
From
He's really doing nothing. He doesn't even have championship gold anymore. He dropped the ball on the, him capturing Goldie because they didn't really want to go for Ciampa. They want to go for Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is talented. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Also, Ciampa, to me, was one of the best NXT talents. Actually, the best NXT talents. Off. And I think it's criminal that he's not in the main spot. No matter what you say, he's main event worth. He still gets strong reactions, like a main event performer.
Because he's that damn good of a performer when you look at it there.
I'm a big Tommaso.
Well, the thing I'm concerned about is when you get to the main roster, you see how they often change that personality, their character, I mean, they did the same thing with Nikki Cross. Now she's like a superhero with a little mask across her face here. When back then she was like it's the twisted sister of this faction known as Sanity.
Yep.
And now of course, and they had the Rhea Ripley, who didn't used to wear makeup, when she was in NXT. Now she's wearing all this goth makeup here and goth attire there.
Yeah. The thing WWE main roster loves to do is alter the characters
Yep.
were organically formed and created,
Yes.
and they created themselves to go to the main roster. Makes me mad. I honestly don't understand that, man. Why would you kill the talent Triple H brought up, created, and molded for you to use to be main event star?
Yeah, I think because Vince McMahon has that idea that if we change this, it'll be a lot more better. If we can, it's like the record executive, telling this band, hey, if you to do this song here and they'll follow it with another song with the same artist, a cover tune here or there, you'll get a lot of sub airplay on the radio. You'll be on the top 10 there, and we've seen that happen a few times there, and it just didn't happen. It just doesn't always work, Look at all the criticism with that the WWE got when they changed Nikki Cross like they did. I mean, like, it's disappointing. I mean, they could have had her, as this psychopathic little, this woman from Scotland who goes around beating everyone in the women's division there, beating all their asses. She could be like another Stone Cold Steve Austin, just taken out one by one by one. She could come into a women's Royal Rumble and just, bust all their balls one by one.
Yep. Definitely. You are right there, Dr. Earl.
Yeah. But sadly, they had to fuck that up, no matter what. I mean, look, a lot of people are saying that they buried Bray Wyatt, and right now Jeff Hardy, he's being buried right now, doing mostly jobber matches. When you think about it, there, so keep in mind he is a skilled performer. He is, on the top level. When you think about it, there, he's battled his personal demons. There, he's doing pretty well. I think probably the big reason why is because his brother Matt's now with AEW, and I guess they're punishing Matt for that. Punishing Jeff for that there, and I guess they're doing the same thing with the former Rusev, his wife Lana. She's in these position where each week on Raw she gets her ass beat by Nia Jax. That's the thing that they have to deal with. But the reason they're doing that is because obviously her husband, the former Rusev, now known as Miro, is now at AEW. And I guess, AEW is considered a threat towards the WWE.
The funny thing is, Keith Rebarber, I know you dislike AEW. I do too, actually. Problem is,
wow.
I guess AEW would be better than Raw and a little bit of a SmackDown. But I don't like Kenny Omega and what they're doing with him. Like, I think they're doing too much with Kenny Omega. Slow down. Just put him up as a great wrestler, someone you can't beat. Do that, at least. I think John Moxley is best in AEW.
Yeah.
I've never seen AEW, not even once.
Well, I've seen a few times when they debuted on the TNT network. When I came home from work, they would rebroadcast AEW Dynamite at about 12 Central here at midnight. And me and my nephew would watch it a few times. And I will say the crowd at their shows are 20 times more over than Seth Rollins will be. That's for sure.
Definitely. But you know what, Keith? You didn't see AEW? Well, watch one AEW. Watch Orange Cassidy versus Neville at Revolution. That was a great match. It was fun. Orange Cassidy, over as hell, despite his body look or his appearance.
Yeah.
First who?
Orange
Orange
Cassidy
Cassidy.
versus Orange
Yeah.
Cassidy versus Neville, if I'm correct.
Actually, X-Pac.
X
Pac.
Pac.
I think
The
it's
four.
X-Pac.
You mean just Pac?
Pac. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I know you got Sean Walton's old character mixed up in there. I know it's kind of confusing there.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Never.
I know, yeah.
Pac. Pac is very talented. Has a great physique. Looks like a world champion.
Yep.
That's Pac himself. Orange Cassidy, not so much of a look of world champion, but definitely look of a top performer.
Yep, true there, yeah.
A vibe of, you know what? This guy is talented as. I don't think he's gonna win the AEW title. I don't think he should. He's not there. TNT title, he's perfect for.
What about, let me ask you, what about someone from the women's division, in particularly Abaddon?
I'll be right
Abaddon,
back.
Because
Abaddon,
Abaddon probably has this wild ass, the Living Dead girl. Her gimmick is like, holy cow, that's probably the most frightening I ever saw. When I first saw that on the an episode of Out of Nowhere, I was like, holy cow, dude, what the fuck? Damn.
is Abaddon. I see potential. Like, okay, AEW women's division does need a spark like Abaddon, so that's a
Yep,
good step.
that's true there.
So
So far, they only have so far is probably Penelope Ford or Anna Jay and Tay Connie, but mostly the pretty gals here.
yeah,
Or Chris Statlander, this alien there that she often gimmicks herself as.
hmm which doesn't sound like she doesn't seem too good to me, but I'm still trying to give it a shot. I don't know what you think about it.
I know. I've been able to watch any AEW because of my work schedule for the past upteen weeks there. So I have to look on probably YouTube or someone else, to find out what's going on here and there and such.
Watch. I don't really watch AEW much. I just keep up with it. People are still asking
Same
me,
here,
"Did you
yeah.
see?" Yeah, AEW at least feels real usually, but
And you know what? And the reason why it's a lot more real, it feels more real, is because a lot of the wrestlers there have more creative control. Whereas the WWE, like, you're told to say this, you're told to be that, you're told to do this here or there. I mean, Tony Khan, the guy who runs it, he allows them, to work on their characters, their promos here. At least you're able to say the word shit on an AEW program, whereas the WWE, you get a trouble big time before you even come close to say it.
unless Vince McMahon approves of it,
That's true. Because Vince McMahon did even murder. Because you remember, Vince McMahon one time muttered out the words motherfucker during that thing with his son Shane and his daughter Stephanie. People are like, whoa, man.
hmm yeah, definitely. Like, you know what? WWE, I don't know why he likes to make small changes. It's just like those changes are pointless. They're not going to make your company better. Like,
Yeah. It's not doing that much here. But sadly, I think, you think he's getting Alzheimer's, Vince McMahon is, slowly?
I think he does already have it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be
That
surprised.
sounds right.
But then
You
again,
know, you say title, you can't call the championship belt anymore.
I
You just
know
have to
that's,
title like.
and you can't refer to the word wrestler. It has to be superstar.
Like, why does those little things matter, Vince? And be like, it's good
'Cause-
shit. It's such good shit.
Because
Like,
apparently, I guess he's got the idea he wants to be the Walt Disney. He's the Walt Disney of pro wrestling. Everybody has to have it's like the superheroes, the supervillains. He wants to have his own Justice League, his own Legion of Doom, not the Legion of Doom tag team with Hawk and Animal there. Rest in peace of both of them. But he wants cartoon characters, and that he continued that all throughout the 80s, throughout the middle of the 1990s, until WCW came in with the NWO, Hulk Hogan joining in, and it was all anti-establishment, and that's when they realized, hey, we need to change things up. They need to go in a different direction. Therefore, the Attitude Era was born.
Yeah. But you know what, Doug Earl? Since Vince McMahon likes jokings and funnies and
Yep.
his own little fantasy, hey, Vince, why don't you know what? Vince, if Vince McMahon loves that, why doesn't he just bring in the Teletubbies?
That's true there. He just might. He just might.
Yeah. Hey, if and there's any possible reason, if there's a creative watching this, please, please do so. It will be hilarious, and so many people will tune out of your shit. You're
Yeah,
gonna
I
be like,
know.
"What went wrong? It's such good shit," and I'm gonna be like, "You like shit too much." You know
Yeah,
what?
it's true. Yeah. Right. Listen, I'm gonna probably get ready for bed in a while. There, I gotta, of course, gotta start in the morning there. All that good stuff there. And listen, Bullzie, I glad you were able to come on the show and express this whole thing with the YR and everything else there. And Keith,
I'm
thank you
glad
very
too.
much. And Keith, thank you for contacting me. About the whole thing here. You know. And I guess when me and Arknoia start streaming again on the next week there, I guess it'll probably be just him and I, unless I guess unless Bullzie, or we could probably get Falmouth Ken or a Minnesota Vikings fan or Super Bowl hunter onto the call there.
Man,
All right. Yep.
Right.
yep,
So I
sounds good.
guess, and sorry. So this is Dr. Earl I with Bullzie and Keith Rebarber. Thank you guys once again for being on this program here. I'm gonna get to bed here. I got work tomorrow, and thank you everybody for watching. You guys have a good one. All right.
Dr. Earl. See
All
you,
right.
Keith.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
All right. It's okay.